Hello everybody, Patrick here, and today we are doing something a little different. It's still gonna be a Transformer review, obviously, but today we are looking at 4 figures, because that went so well last time I looked at more than one figure. Today we're gonna take a look at that Target exclusive, versus pack that was Cliffjumper and 3 Decepticons. Well, 2 Decepticons and a Predacon. Colloquially known as the Bully Cliffjumper 4-pack. We're going to be going least favorite to favorite. Now, just because these figures are in that order, does not mean I believe any of these figures are bad. I just means I don't mess with them as much. Because, like, half of them I don't really mess with. The other half I mess with quite a bit. So, let's do this. Starting with, Tarantulas. Sorry if you have arachnophobia. Yeah, so this is Tarantulas in his, prototype colors, I believe. Or his toy colors, I don't remember. And yeah, he is a giant tarantula. Yeah, not really sure what to say there, other than he's a giant tarantula. Here he is with a panther, aka, or a cheetah painted black, rather. Yeah. And here he is with a black lion. Oh, I need to fix some Copy Convoy's legs. A black lion. And yeah, you've got weapon storage, which is nice. The pincers, you can move them, but the legs are on ball joints, so you can do mostly whatever you want with them. Yeah, he's a spider. Looks like he belongs on Spider-Man's chest. Yeah. I'm not gonna do... actually, all their transformations are decently simple, so, you know what? Fuck it. Transformation on this guy, you just want to pop his weapons off. I'll save comparisons, because I do have another, Squeeze Play is going to be compared with the Beasts, so I'll save comparisons with Shadow Panther and Copy Convoy until later, but let's move my phone up a little bit so we can see. Okay, so now that you've removed the weapons, you just kind of want to, you can untab the arms, bring the legs out of the section and unfold them. Gotta bring them down. Next, you're going to want to pop the section up and just, rotate. Try and get the arms out of the way. Just rotate. Bring the arms out. Rotate them down. Rotate the bicep however you want. And do whatever you want with the legs. The, 8 creepy legs. You are then going to... Oh, wait, no. Before you fully rotate the abdomen, you want to bring the spider head down. Like that. Bring it up, and then you want to tab it in right there. And then that is Tarantulas in robot mode. He looks good. He does have his 2 weapons. Weapon very similar to that of Black Arachnia and the Buzzsaw, which, oh, I dropped it. You can combine them if you want. He can hold his weapons. And yeah, so that is Tarantulas. Next up is Squeeze Play. I thought I would like this figure a lot more, but again, that doesn't mean he's bad by any means. He's just not quite as fun as I thought he'd be. But, you know, here he is. He's a monster with claws. You can open and close the claws. And, yeah, he's a weird thing with a cobra head. And whatever this is as a tail. He also comes with a normal-ass gun. For those of you who don't know the Japanese Transformers continuity, this is supposed to represent the character Browning. Not Brownie, Browning. Who turned into a Browning pistol. Yeah. Obviously this doesn't transform. Obviously. But, you know, you can put it in Squeeze Play's claw hand. Make it look like a, you know, him shooting it. But yeah. That's not all Squeeze Play comes with. He comes with a little dude. I don't remember what the little dude's name is supposed to be, but yeah. He's a headmaster. So let's Squeeze Play off the side and look at the little dude. Focus. Here you go. Yeah, he looks cool. He's just a little dude. He's got like a space helmet. For some reason his hips, at least on mine, are either not pinned or are very loosely pinned. Because I can... Yeah, no, his hips just straight up are not pinned. And they're very loose. And the knees are very tight. So, you know. That might be part of why I don't mess with this guy as often as I thought I would. Yeah, he has standard Titan Master articulation. You know, the head is on a ball joint. The arms can go up that far. He can kick forward. Can't kick back. Knees bend forwards and backwards. And yeah, I'll go ahead and show his transformation, which is just folding him in half. And there you have Squeeze Play's head. We will take a look at that after we, you know, look at Squeeze Play. So, here he is. Here he is with a panther / a cheetah painted black. And here he is with a black lion. Yeah. They're cool. Anyway. So, transformation for Squeeze Play. Which, that has to be top 10 contender for the worst Transformers names. Squeeze Play. Anyway, you are going to want to, obviously, remove the headmaster. Bring the Cobra head down. Bring the arms up and rotate them like this. Up, rotate. For some reason, you're going to have the mushroom bolts, you know, showing this way. Because if you know, I don't know if mine's just misassembled, but, you know, if you have it facing, you know, the mushroom facing the other way, like swapping legs, then this section is going to be on the inside. So, I just don't bother with it. But yeah, next you're going to want to open the claw. Wait. I just realized, because I did the same thing with Armada Blur, thinking, you know, if I swapped it, the things would be wrong. So, well, no, yeah, because that... Yeah, because that would be on the inside like that. So I was right, because you're not supposed to rotate the waist for monster mode. Anyway, again, open up the claws. take this section, take it off, bring this section down. Or first, you want to flip these sections up. I am so sorry this is blurry. I don't know why my camera has been refusing to focus, but you know. Actually, I have an idea, but you know. Bring that down. You're going to want to bring the arms down, untab them, straighten them out, then rotate them at the bicep, rotate and bring it down. You're going to want to flip the hand out, rotate, bring arm down, rotate, flip hand out. Next, you're going to place the shield right into this, or right here. Bada bing, bada boom. And now, you want to plug on the head. And here is Squeeze Play. Again, gotta be, you know, competition for the worst Transformer name ever, but you know. Yeah. He's pretty cool. I think it's the Headmaster that, you know, is why I don't mess with him as much as I thought I would. He even has the molded in, you know, speed, strength, whatever they're supposed to be. Yeah. For comparison, here he is with a Shadow Panther. It's Cheetor painted black with the mutant head. And, just cause, you know, here is a Tarantulas with him. And back to Squeeze Play. And here he is with Copy Convoy. And here is Tarantulas with Copy Convoy. Did I do Tarantulas' articulation? I don't think I did his robot mode articulation. Robot mode, head, ball joint, shoulders, rotate, arms out, bicep, wrist, I guess. Elbow, technically. Waist, kick, forward, back, knees, ankles, and yeah. Now, for Squeeze Play's articulation, head is on a ball joint, because, you know, it's on the same connector as every other one. Shoulders are on a ball joint and a hinge up here, so you can get them all the way up. He has a bicep rotation, double jointed elbow. Wrist can fold in for whatever reason you want. Waist can rotate. Legs can kick forward, that far, back, that far, outwards, that far. You have thigh rotation, knees. You have ankle tilt. And the toes can move if you want. So, yeah. Squeeze Play can also hold Browning in this mode. And Browning is Blast Effect compatible. Let me grab my Blast Effects really quick. He is compatible, I believe. I don't know why they'd add that nub if he wasn't, so you know. Yeah. Gun. If you want, this can be your gun mode Megatron. Just with some purple, or some pink. Anyway, so. That essentially leaves 2 left from the Bully Cliffjumper 4-pack. So, you know, runner-up for my favorite is the man himself. The Rock. Just kidding. Even though, for some reason, The Rock did voice Cliffjumper in Prime. Anyway, here we have the Transformers Prime universe, Cliffjumper. And fuck, man, this figure's actually really cool. I was expecting him to be my least favorite. Not to be, you know, runner-up for favorite. But yeah. He looks pretty damn accurate to the muscle car in the show. However, you can see the difference between the different plastics. It's especially accentuated by the camera. It is not necessarily this obvious in real life, but the camera definitely highlights how the different plastics look. Granted, part of that might also be my lighting. Because you see, my lighting is red. So, you know. So that might also be part of it. But yeah, I believe this is, Palm, I believe. This is obviously clear painted red. And this is the same red as this, but, you know. But yeah. He's nice. He does roll. He rolls better on a non-flat surface like this. Yeah, you got the nice headlights, the horns. Underneath, kind of looks like a folded up robot, obviously. You got the exhausts. You know, and I'm aware that this mold was originally RescueBot Chase. However, I feel like this mold was designed for Cliffjumper first. Like, am I crazy for saying that? This mold just works so much better for Cliff that it's almost like, you know, that Chase was a, you know, afterthought. Yeah. Speaking of Chase, you do get the same weapons that came with Chase. However, I misplaced all but 2 of them. The holster for the claw and this. Because these, you put them together to make Cliffjumper's hand cannon from Prime. Again, another little thing pointing to that this guy was designed first. But, you know, you can plug it on up here. You can, you know, kind of plug it to the side. And plug it on back here. Plug it on up here. Whatever you want. But this is more for robot mode. Yeah. For comparison, we have the Deluxe G1 Universe Optimus. And I was more gonna pull this guy out, you know, specifically for Tarn. But, you know. Here he is with, Legacy Evolution Deluxe, or Voyager Tarn. He is missing his front cannons. I'll get to that when I, you know, do the Tarn from this pack. But yeah, he's nice. He's really nice, actually. Yeah. Let's get down to transformation. So, I always start, because I just, you know, kind of like doing, like, subtle, like, okay, not subtle, but things like this first, and then, you know, doing the rest of it. So, just flip those up. Come back here, flip these sections up. Which, if you don't notice, actually have a little Autobot symbol. You can kind of get the arms out. Get the arms out. You can then bring the legs down, and I need to bring my camera up a little bit so y'all can see what I'm doing. You're going to want to split the legs, rotate them so the knee is facing the right way. And I kind of like how, you know, the legs collapse. It's not just, you know, the traditional way of doing it. So you're going to want to bring down the heels, untab the foot from the side, then collapse the leg like this, bring this section in, and it will tab in. Isn't that really kind of creative? Do the same thing on this side. You're going to want to bring the arms down and shift them upwards. They don't lock in place. I've heard that's a problem specifically on Cliffjumper. But, you know. And you're done. No, I'm just kidding. I am filming this on April Fool's, so. You're going to want to kind of bring it down a little bit so you can try to open this section up so you don't scratch the paint on his head. Bring the chest down, and boom. Here you have, you know, Legacy United Cliffjumper. And fuck, does that look good. Honestly, like, okay. So, get rid of the horns on the legs and move the headlights up to here. I say get rid of the horns and legs because I'm pretty sure in the show, the vehicle mode horns were his robot mode horns, but you know. Yeah, do that, and he's practically a spitting image of the show model. Maybe round off a couple more corners, but he looks really fucking good. Like, you know, it is, you know, obviously a mesh of the G1 and Prime design, but out of all of the, you know, G1ified Prime figures for Legacy, I think Cliffjumper and Dreadwing pull this off the best. Like, I'm not going to lie, I think they pull it off the best. Let's get in close on that head. Like, that is just straight up Prime Cliffjumper's head, if it'll focus. Like, yeah, he has a nose, but like, so that is just straight up Prime Cliffjumper. I don't own any Prime Cliffjumpers anymore. I had one back when Prime came out. It was the RID version. And he, you know, fell apart because I was a stupid kid. But yeah. He looks nice. These, I do kind of wish could fold down, but, well. You know, it looks good. It looks good. Articulation, the head is on a ball joint, can wiggle waggle, up and down. However, if you see that sculpted in neck, yeah, that's part of it, so. It does kind of limit some of the articulation, but you know. Arms can do a full 360, though they do tend to get stuck on that. So, yeah. They can go outwards, only about that far, which kind of a shame, but you know. Bicep rotation. 90-degree bend at the elbow. Wrists can fold in for some reason. Waist can rotate. Can kick forward an impressive amount. Can kick back a decent amount. Can kick outward. You can do the full splits. You have thigh rotation. 90 degrees at the knee. The ankles only bend in about that much, but do bend out the entire way. Oh, well, kind of wish I could bend in a little bit more, but hey. This figure is still phenomenal. Like, I kind of regret not getting the Chase variant when I, you know, was looking, or when I could. Yeah. Now, cannon. He can, I don't think he can actually hold it via the 5mm peg. Not that section, but this section, you know, if you want him to just have a tiny ass pistol, you can. However, you know, if you own the Chase variant, you already know you can just slide the thing over his hand, and boom, you have Cliffjumper's triple barrel cannon from the show. Yeah, I'm not gonna do robot mode comparisons yet because, you know, the comparisons are still for the final figure. So, we will get into him right now. So, if you know the you know, roster for this pack, you already know who's up, and by default, who is my favorite. That would be the Cyberverse universe, Tarn. Fuck, this figure looks good. I honestly venture to say it looks better than the, comic universe Tarn. As you can see, he is using the original Tarn's cannons, back cannons, because, mine didn't come with them. Mine did come with the, Cliffjumpers stuff, I just misplaced those. But yeah, he is a tank. A really intimidating tank. Very purple, very dark purple. Like, that is a nice, deep, dark purple. And, you've got some black. The black, other than the treads, is mostly just paint. But, got a weird copper on that barrel. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be on this one as well or not, but I don't know. You got the sword, because I'm, since the bludgeon molds, he is gang molded with the sword as well, so. I'm not going to complain. I more wanted this guy for this sword, because I thought I was going to like this guy more and just give the sword to him. That may not be the case. Anyway, so we're going to put the sword off to the side and just look at the tank. Fuck yeah. It doesn't have rolling wheels, unfortunately. I'm willing to forgive it, given how much it accomplishes and everything. You can rotate the turret. The cannons can angle up and down, depending on how you have the turret rotated, I guess. This is the first time this has happened, so. The cannons can angle up, at least a little bit, usually. Okay, so it depends on how you have it, the turret rotated, whether the guns can lift up or not, but You got molded-in guns right here. Molded-in guns. Molded-in tread detailing. I wish this was painted, but, given how much paint is on the rest of the figure, I can kind of forgive it. Yeah. The hands are just hanging out. Again, I can kind of forgive it. Underside, you can see basically how he works. Comparison. Prime. And with the original release. Which, don't get me wrong, I like the original release. I fucking love the original release. Tarn is probably my favorite character to come from the IDW comics. And don't get me wrong, I fucking love this deco. And this is the deco that is displayed on my shelf. That being said, I think I like this guy a little bit better. Yeah, let's just get, so you can see some of the paint differences. As you can see, they did paint it in detailing, but But yeah, I love these guys. Anyway, so transformation. You guys probably seen this before, considering there are 2 bludgeons that share this mold. The original mold has been out for a little bit. And, this figure has been out for a little bit as well. Sorry if the video just lagged. Anyway, you're going to want to pop the cannon off. Why is my video seeming to lag? Whatever. Pop the cannons off. You're going to want to pop the feet up. I will say this one has tighter joints, but that's probably because I haven't had it for as long. You're going to want to come under here, bring these panels up, and untab them, swing them up. They tab in. This one doesn't do the greatest, And then close this up to have a complete tread. Do the same on that side. You can go ahead and bring these sections around if you want. Untab the arms from the legs and kind of rotate them. You can then straighten the legs out, bring the feet forward, and untab the legs. And now we have something really funny looking. Let me find something to raise my camera a little bit. What did I drop? Anyway, raise the camera up more than the phone stand can provide. You are then gonna, you can rotate the arms up like this now. This is what I do. You're gonna come to the backpack or the back and untab this section. Bring it upward. Rotate it. You can then start rotating the treads. And you kind of want to stop about here. So you can bring the chest plate down. Finish bringing the treads up. Slide them in. Tab the chest in. Come back here. Flip up the head and rotate it. You're going to want to come bring the back up. These there's little slots in here. These little transparent red tabs will tab into. And bring the back cannons up. But we are not quite done yet because, why is my thing off center? Why is that? That's just the table. That's not actually a... Okay. Anyway, cannons. You're going to want to rotate this section. Alright. And the instructions tell you to tab it into this peg. Which, yeah, that works. I just prefer how it looks up here. And there we go. We have Cyberverse Universe Tarn, and fuck, that looks good. But yeah, this guy, fuck yeah. However, this isn't technically Cyberverse Tarn. This is the Cyberverse Perfect Decepticon. If you want to make him, accurate to Cyberverse Tarn, you just... There you go, now he's Cyberverse Tarn. I just don't care. Yeah, he looks fucking cool. It's getting close on the head. It is the same as normal Tarn's head, except it's entirely cast in this purple plastic. So the red smile, and the kind of coppery brown under here are paint. Same with the coppery brown right there. Yeah, he looks really cool. Legs are a little plain. I do plan on painting his kneecaps, but yeah. He can hold his sword. You just shove it into his hand. And that is fucking cool. But if you don't want him holding his sword, you can just plug it into the port on his back. Yeah. Articulation-wise, the head is on a ball joint. Can rotate. A little bit of wiggly-waggly. Can't look up about that far, but because of the plate it's on, or the thing it's on, you can get all the way up looking. The arms can rotate a full 360. Again, really tight. That's probably due to the fact that I just got them like a week or two ago. Bring the arm up, or you can bring the arm up that far. Bicep rotation. About 90 degrees of bend at the elbow. That way. You can bend it back that way if you want. Oh, before I do that. Wrists can rotate, and the hands can open and close. Hell yeah. Gets them in some great head holding poses. As in holding someone else's head, but yeah. You can rotate the waist. He can kick forward that far. Back that far. Outwards about that far. You have thigh rotation. You have that much range of motion at the knees, but if you untab them, you can get complete range of motion. Holy fuck. The ankles can move back. They can move up. They can tilt a little bit. This is a very articulated figure. Hasbro wanted, the first figure of Tarn to be very dynamic and very posable. And they succeeded. Holy shit. Now, you can also, take the cannons off and, plug them into his hands. Tarn's Evo Fusion gimmick was that you could, combine the guns into a super gun if you wanted. But, you know, I don't think anyone actually cares about that. But, you know, yeah. The guns are actually transparent red. Same with the chest plate. You know, painted over black, which is cool. Yeah, so, here he is with G1 Universe Optimus, which is fucking hilariously cute. Here is Cliffjumper with G1 Optimus. And here he is with his old Legacy Evolution counterpart that did get a reissue, but because he was really hard to find. So here is, you know, Cyberverse versus IDW Comic. And while I love both color schemes, I just gotta say, for some fucking reason, I genuinely don't know why, the Cyberverse one just knocks it out of the park for me. I genuinely don't know why. Like, I love both of them. I love both of them and their color schemes. It's just, for some reason, the Cyberverse one looks just a little bit better. Anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this long, you know, this longer video. I'm not going to name the video the Bully Cliffjumper 3-pack. Because that would, you know, YouTube would nuke the video before it could, you know, even be uploaded. I'm trying to get Tarantulas in here as well. And then Cliffjumper just like right here. Yeah. So, yeah. But yeah, I genuinely really love this pack. I think all of its members are phenomenal. 2 more so than the other 2. But, you know, still, they're all phenomenal. One of them, at least for me, outshines his original. So, yeah. If you guys want this figure, I think Hasbro Pulse still has a couple as of April 1st, recording this. I think, you might still be able to find them in, Targets, because this was a Target exclusive. You might be able to find them, maybe. Other than that, your best bet would be, eBay. But, yeah. So guys, if you enjoyed, leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, and I've got 2 more figures to review as of recording this. After that, I'll probably actually have 4, but, you know, still, after, in another month or so, I won't have any more figures to review, and then I'll be going through my backlog of figures. So, yeah, see y'all.